So for those of you who didn't know, I did a Strutmaster conversion on the 2007 Cadillac Escalade ESV. So this is it right there. As you can see down there, Strutmaster. They're pretty good. I'm not gonna lie to you. Very good. Great idea to get rid of the air suspension that came factory on the 2007 plus Cadillac Escalade ESV. It had issues with that suspension. No longer did the compressor kick on. Instead of putting money into a old air suspension, I went on ahead and removed those air struts. And so I did the Strutmaster conversion. Now, I did have to add, I think, spacers in the springs in the back. I had to put a knuckle in there. Let me see if there it goes. You see that knuckle right there? Get closer. Those knuckles right there create more of a gap or a spacing that prevents the spring from compressing all the way. It prevents the spring from doing that. It gives it like a preload, pre-tension. That keeps the back from sinking down as far as it was. Because most of the time when you add Strutmaster to your vehicles, those are not adjustable. Those are set at whatever setting from the factory. And so sometimes the front and the rear are not even. In this case, when I applied them to the Escalade, the rear sat lower. It had more squat than the front. I hated that look. That's what I tried to get rid of. And that's why I applied the Strutmaster coilovers or struts onto the Cadillac Escalade, because the rear has sank down and it wasn't raising, of course. So that's just a known issue with Strutmaster. So those knuckles right there, you can buy, you can apply in order to even out your front and rear if that's how you want it to be. It does not affect the ride at all, creating those knuckles right there in the spring still allows the top and the bottom to compress. It still allows the spring to do what it's supposed to do. It's a very, very, very comfortable ride. I've taken this truck out of town to Florida several times, Michigan several times, all over the place, Alabama. I've taken it all over the United States, so to speak, in order to really get a good feel and handling of the vehicle with the family. It drives very comfortably. It's a very nice truck to drive every day, even with the Strutmaster conversion. So consider that, guys. Consider adding the Strutmaster and getting rid of the factory air suspension if you're ever having issues with that. Right now, I got a little nail in my tire. These are my 26s. The tires are in great shape, but just like anything else, you got to maintain them. You got to look out for debris in the road. And in this case, it was a nail, and so I had to remove that. I've done it several times on several wheels and tires, whatever. Pulled the nail out, made the hole bigger, used the kit, and repaired it. So these kits work great. It's a great option, especially on the fly, to go ahead and take care of a nail embedded in your tire. I started to remove the nail and it started to hiss, so it did penetrate all the way through. I don't know how this nail stopped air from leaking out, but it was a good penetration, meaning the air was not seeping past that nail. That's pretty crazy. Most of the time air does, and you get a slow leak, but in this case it didn't. But as soon as I started to remove it, there you go. So I'll go ahead and fix that. But like I said, in the meantime, go ahead and consider that. If you ever have issues with your Cadillac Escalade, GMC Denali's, there's a few others that have the air ride, consider going with Strutmaster. All right, that's my recommendation for today. Go Element Auto Works. I'm out.